All right, next round of bans coming out. Lena gonna be banned out by Geek Fam. Kind of curious what Geek Fam have in mind for like infest bomb carriers here for that life stealer.
Yeah, I really don't like this life stealer pick. Honestly, I don't know. I don't get it. Picking life stealer into two heroes that are pretty good against life stealer. Honestly, like the silence is pretty brutal in the mid game. Axe obviously a renowned way to deal with life stealer. So we'll see. I don't know. It goes both ways. Obviously, life stealer can shred a Skyrath mage. Depends who gets the jump on who.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like that's the name of the game for life stealer in general. He's so initiation reliant.
Yeah.
Like the hero looks incredible if you can get those like zip, electric vortex. I'm gonna rage, open wounds. You're dead. But outside of that, I mean, he is a ghoul. He is pretty scary.
He is. Yeah, it's true.
Get that man a shirt.
Dire team pick.
We'll ban with the disruptor. So finally, we'll have a game with no disruptor. How depressing.
Yeah, Skyrath kind of playing that role here. I'm all right with it. And now they go into the Shadow Fiend.
Okay, they're liking a couple of the heroes that Geek Fam showed off last game, it seems, with the Axe and the SF now on their side.
Always love to see that in drafts. You know that, hey, that was a good idea.
Yep.
We're in.
Warlock still looks pretty good. Saying.
Yeah.
Always love having a BKB piercing disable up against Shadow Fiend.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Of course, having kind of, the Song of the Siren doesn't go through the BKB, but having two big team fight ultis there. Sometimes that Song of the Siren even helps you just isolate the Shadow Fiend that much more when he's BKB'd.
Yeah. Jakiro's still also pretty good. Witch Doctor's all right.
I don't know. I like the idea of going, like, you've got Lifestealer who's already pretty survivable against, like, a Skyrath Axe type setup, and then you just get the survivability of the Warlock.
That's interesting.
So probably off-lane Puck here.
Yeah, off lane or potentially mid, but
Could be the
one
mid
would
Puck.
think off lane.
I miss the good old-fashioned mid-Puck days.
So why are they picking the
10
Puck now?
seconds remaining.
They've seen one of the supports. Aggressive Slayers could still go back for like a Shadow Shaman or maybe even a Lion, like one of these supports that's renowned to be very good against Puck in the laning phase too. And then that could still shut down. Like they could pick two heroes that shut down off lane Puck, like Shadow Shaman plus basically any other secondary stun, and Puck has a very hard lane. And then that would force the Naga Siren to be there, and then you're stuck with the Lifestealer +1 up against the Axe and Skyrath Mage. It just seems that, like, what is their position 5 that it wasn't worth picking there, is my question. Because is it something that's so shocking? Like, do you really need to see... you're not going to see their other core, right? They're not going to pick their last core. They're going to pick their other support here. So why was it so important to take the Puck and not your support? Curious.
I'm curious as well. I wonder... Do you think they're keeping it open-ended just so they can see what the rest of the draft is? Less about, hey, we want to catch them by surprise and just react to how they round out the rest of their draft on Aggr.Slayer?
I mean, the only downside to picking supports too early is that sometimes you wind up with, like, people who don't have a Hex or something, and then there's, like, a Storm Spirit or a Tinker. But, I mean, there's the Lion. It's going to be Lion or Shadow Shaman against an off-lane Puck. And then that almost forces Geek Fam to put the Puck into the mid lane.
Was it a great bait?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know that Lion is like, all right, they picked Lion. Now we're going to counterpick it. You know, it's sort of, I guess they could grab like Ogre or something, and you can just bully these two really squishy supports, like Ogre Naga versus Skyrath Lion. That's pretty rough.
Ogre.
You know, or you could grab Tusk or something. I mean, there's maybe a couple others, but you know, those big bully guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm surprised. So now, I guess Geek Fan probably picked their other core, right? Because assuming that you know what you want, you pick two heroes in a row here. You don't want it to get banned. So what is the mid hero that you think can win this game? Death Prophet's gone. Is it the Puck mid instead? You've realized you've goofed.
I was thinking you pick the 5 here, and then leave it open-ended with the Puck. Make that final
but you
ban
have
hard to read.
You have 2 picks in a row, though, right? So,
well, Yeah.
You know,
but-
you really don't want to lose your core. I assume your 5 must be at least some sort of flexible hero. You know, it can't be that important.
Dire
Okay, I
team
see what you
ban.
mean. Like, there's no reaction either way. Well, they're
Okay,
gonna.
so they will finally take their Warlock. I do agree that would have been banned, so fair enough. But man, I wish they picked their freaking Warlock first. Like, why did you take the Puck first? And then you get a Lion on the enemy team, you know? I can almost guarantee there would not be a Lion against your Puck if you picked that Warlock first. It would have been some, like, I don't know, Leshrac or Kunkka or something.
Yeah.
And instead your Puck is just like, well, shit.
Radiant team
Now I have to play
ban.
against Lion.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any real advantage to drafting it in that order. I'm stumped, bud. Now the Brewmaster gets banned next. So, thinking it's a mid Puck then. Or just thinking they really don't want to play against Brewmaster, which I understand. With squishy supports
10
like that,
seconds
the
remaining.
split is... You pretty much have one choice, just run.
5 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
So it's pretty awful. It's a miserable experience, at least for the first half of the game.
Well, I'm
Radiant
pretty sure I'm
team
sending a different hero to the off lane. It's not a Puck. Maybe
It's the
Tide,
Tide.
then. Okay.
Hello. So big time team fight, 3 big ultimates, and then a dream coil. They're going to be playing around the timer. And final choice, Huskar. Whoa, daddy. Aggressive Slayer living up to their name.
Wow.
Trent, what think thee? Is it too crazy?
Well, their Puck pick successfully got a Lion. I mean, it did do that. It got a hero. Like, there's 2 supports that deal with offlane Puck really well. It's Lion and Chow Shaman. Do those heroes do as well against Tide Hunter? No, not really. You know, you can kind of bully them a little bit as Tide, so that kind of worked. In that sense, Tide had a fairly decent lane setup, especially with the help of a Naga Siren. And now they've gone in towards the Huskar pick, who can perform pretty well if he has decent setup stuns, even against something like a Tide Hunter. Obviously, he can just like pump in a bunch of damage, make it hard for this guy to lane there. So, curious to see where our
10
Naga Siren
seconds
will be spending
remaining.
a lot of her time to start this game off. And then we're going to have to keep an eye on
5
this
seconds remaining.
Skywrath Mage and Axe combo and see if it can get that pressure into Faded this game.
I'm digging on the Geek Fam draft, though. What do you think overall, like broad strokes, Huskar without a saving support? You know, no Oracle, no Dazzle, no Wisp. Those are kind of the big 3. Do you feel like he is really reliant on somebody like that, or do you think Huskar can do fine just as Huskar in a match like this? Because that, for me, that's the big deal breaker. That's what makes this seem so risky.
They don't have a lot of physical damage. That is definitely true. At least the Tide Hunter, well, you know, they end up with an offlaner that adds a little bit with Anchor Smash, but for the most part, it is still pretty good. But all our best Huskar games, of course, tend to come with the Oracle or the Dazzle. We've seen a couple Omni Knights get the trick done, but absolutely zero support. Hard game.
It's tough.
Clearly
It's-
very confident on the hero. Look at that silver tier Huskar.
Woo.
Guy's got so many relics. I mean, he's been playing some Huskar games. He's
I've
got 42
always
triple kills.
I've always wanted to be a Huskar player. Every time I see a good Huskar in pubs and he's just manning up, diving on people, I'm like, man, it's got to feel good to just own on Huskar. You know?
Yeah,
He is a man's man hero.
he really is.
Lifestealer, though, is pretty good in that kind of, you know, man fight matchup. That's their one big piece of physical damage that's going to be a little bit brutal. BKB, obviously going to be key for the Huskar. Armlet as well. My concern, though, is that they do have enough control that they'll be able to handle this Huskar in the mid game. You know, even when BKB comes out, sure, they'll play around it. He'll get some kills, but, you know, you've got the Ravage, you've got the Warlock ult, you know, you've got things like Ensnare that'll slow him down through BKB. You've got stuff like Anchor Smash that'll also, obviously, a lot of his magic or damage comes from magic, but still. They've just got a lot of ways to neuter this Huskar. Even Dream Coil, you know, fucking Waiting Rift, all this shit just to get in his way and make his life more difficult.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I
A
don't
lot,
know.
a lot of stuff.
It's a good halberd game for him if he can get the Lifestealer
Oh, yeah.
before his rage comes off. We can give that to him at least.
Oh yeah, I'm into that.
All right. Well, what about the Geek Fam draft though? In terms of their issues, they only have one carry, so they don't have that kind of typical two right-click hitters. Like you see the aggressive draft, they got SF and Huskar. Last game there was the SF and the CK. You tend to have two people that are dealing that sort of physical damage situation, whereas we only have the one in the life stealer, and then we got spell casting from the Tide as well as the Puck. They don't really have any supports that are getting in on that physical either. And
Yeah.
got, like,
I feel like Tide can be hit or miss. Like he's either a hot hero or a cold hero. He's either doing awesome in the lane, and it's like, whoa, this Tide's got a lot of farm. They are going to have a lot of trouble dealing with these constant ravages. This Tide's all over the place. Or the game is kind of like, well, Tide's not doing much this game, and it's sort of these defensive ravages, and as soon as it's used, it's like the other team flips the switch and just puts this pressure on, and he's kind of just like a walking target that doesn't really do a hell of a lot. So I do think he's a little bit of a risky hero, but their team dynamic is so built around those big cooldowns, I think it's going to be hard for them to just isolate the Tide like that. Kind of be like, oh, they don't have Ravage, let's just run into them. It's like, well, you've still got Song, you've still got Rock, you've still got pretty good creep clear from Puck. They've got options, I guess, compared to your average Tidebringer pick.
have to see what lane rotations end up happening too. Just because, like, I'm guessing they haven't seen the Lifestealer yet. I don't think they've seen him up top. They have the Warlock in vision, but they're probably expecting that the Warlock and Lifestealer are going to be bottom. Garth Mage, Lifestealer is missing. Where is he? So, the question is, where is he going? Yeah, what?
Trent, I'm on a big jelly kick.
Jelly?
You know, like
Jello?
like mashed fruits. No. Like the stuff you put on toast?
Like a jam and a jelly kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, jam. Okay.
What's the difference between a jam and a jelly?
I have no idea. Is there one?
Doesn't jam? Yeah, there is. I'm pretty sure jam has pieces of the whole fruit in it, whereas jelly does not.
Okay, I'm on a real jam kick then. Fuck,
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
jelly.
you're jamming. Yeah, fuck jelly. Man, a piece of jam, we get that like half a strawberry in it, smushing all around on your toast. Oh,
Dude,
baby.
we've been
That's the
buying
dream.
the good Greek yogurt and then just some high quality standalone jam, and you just mix them together. You get your own yogurt. Ollie,
Battle begins.
is he in trouble? Is Ollie dead?
I don't know. He's got the heal.
The heal is pretty annoying. They actually could have killed him, but they were afraid that it might be bait. And actually, Skywrath is one away.
We went for it.
He's in deep. He wants it. It's going to be close. It's not going to be enough. He needs 2 more. 1 more.
He's going to get the 1. It's not going to work. The heal's too much.
3 more.
What if we get the courier, though? That would be pretty epic.
That would be
He's gonna hide the
embarrassing,
courier.
given that they know exactly where he's been positioned. He did, however, take this entire Warlock's mana pool.
He's looking. He's like, oh, you're not going home.
Hey, it's the Sing Sing courier. It's the Beaver Knight.
All right.
That's pretty dope.
All right, so somehow Lifestealer wound up all the way bottom, and now he's going back top. I'm not sure what happened there. So they've just been showing the Naga in lane up top here. Wait, what is going on? Naga has 3 mangoes and 6 clarity or 6 tangos. Damn, the Warlock went mega poverty mode. He has nothing. He has 1 tango left, and they let Naga get all of these items. So that this dual lane is very strong.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to deal with, but Huskar seems to be all right so far. It is double melee, which is one of the drawbacks. Double melee versus double range can definitely be tough. But at the same time, once Naga hits level 2 and gets net, if Lion is just half a step too far forward, they're going to seize the day, and he's going to fall over like a piece of paper.
I like what March is doing down bottom here, though. Taking advantage of his level 2 early on is trying to bully this axe, getting all the free right clicks he can, but now he has pop, so the spin is there. Be a nuisance. It's all about those little trades, though, you know, taking advantage of every little second that you have an advantage over someone.
Yeah.
That is Dota.
It's kind of an interesting matchup. It's like Axe versus Omni, you know, X versus Tide, 2 big melee cores that on paper are very good in other like melee on melee matchups, but in this case it's sort of a immovable object meets unstoppable force type scenario.
Yeah, and Axe is just taking that time to farm up the camp here. Warlock's here stealing a little bit of it, but he does get the big creeps and
Do it all.
just ends up sharing the experience.
Yeah, the Poverty Warlock will take it, though. Mid lane, Jackie. Boy, oh boy, is he struggling. Chuan with a Y is dominating this mid match.
Yeah, he's got the double nulls up already, so 81 damage to the 70 of the SF. Still looking for those souls. Needs to get his raise on here, but he'll be all right once he gets those levels going.
This is not Chuan, like Invictus Gaming Chuan. This is Imposter Chuan with a Y.
Right. He puts the big Y, though, so you know. He's like, hello, it's there.
I guess. Do you think he has some crazy story about how, like, no, I'm actually the original Chuan. He copied it off me and then won TI. Now everybody thinks he started it. I'm not changing my name.
It's probably what happened.
Or do you think it's the other way around? He's like, Chuan's really cool.
How about top lane?
Yeah, oh, I'm watching. He's dead. That Huskar just
making
melted.
sure. You just didn't care. You just
No, well, I mean...
Yeah, it's true. He's dead.
Hey, dude, I talked about it 5 minutes ago. Huskar without a saving support. We're going to see that more than once, where he just gets initiated on
out for you.
and falls over.
He's going to die.
Clear as day. No, this is
Lion
tough.
is lurking in wait.
I mean, honestly, you look at these three heroes, though, for the Dire. You've got, like, none of them have any armor. You've got Lion with 1, you've got Skywrath with 0, and you've got Huskar with 2. And you get that tower protection. That helps.
Yeah,
but
give him a little hand.
Jesus, you know? I mean, you
They're
put a
gonna get
Riptide on
blocked
top
too.
of that, and they just get shredded by the right clicks. Like, all of a sudden, Warlock's doing damage. You know what I mean? Well,
Ooh, Jackie.
no, I did miss that one.
I don't blame you. What's happening there? Why is,
no
he
idea.
just had a regen room. How did he die?
Maybe he just
Alright.
got clipped by another...
Jackie styled on him, I guess.
I really don't know. That's... Especially the way Puck was positioned in that lane. It's got to be the result of something cocky. Maybe he took a tower shot. Up top, though, things are bubbling. Both sides posturing like they are hungry for battle. Lion, he's going to TP out. He cancels it. It's the battle of wits up top. Now the Hex onto the Lifestealer, but Naga continuing to pursue the open wounds. The Lion, he's bleeding. He's brought down, and Snare used on the Huskar as now Naga gets turned on. They go 1 for 1. Skywrath, some pretty solid damage.
It is crazy how fast that turns, though, right? With this SF. Like, suddenly he has 110 damage. Like, he was 10 below the puck, and now he's 30 ahead.
Yeah. Wild hero. So bottom lane, it's a farm fest. You've got Tide and Axe within 4 or 5 CS of each other, both level 5, and they're just kind of farming away. Axe hits the Tide Hunter kills a creep, Anchor Smash hits Axe, and then the cycle just repeats.
And they're trading off the hard camp. Like, one person pushes the wave in and then goes back for the hard camps. Like, Axe is going to do that now.
It's actually kind of cute in a way. Like, they have this little choreography going on here. Meanwhile, up top, Lion surrounded by bogeys. Pretty easy kill there. Gonna go the way of Bryant on the Naga Siren. Meanwhile, Huskar, he's killing the hard camp.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tide taunting the Axe now. Things really heating up down here.
Oh, I like this. He buys the early cloak before his boots. Really going to get the most out of this HP that he's got.
Ooh, on the Tide Hunter there, yeah. Does this start to swing in the Axe favor as this lane goes on?
Wow, he took the full hood completed. Damn, I didn't realize that. That's intense. Okay.
Uh-oh, up top. Look at this. It's Huskar. He's getting low, Trent. He's going to try to run back to the tower, but now he turns. Naga Siren with the stick. It might be too powerful. Warlock has the Shadow Ward on. He just needs a few more auto attacks, and Faded gets the kill. They go 1 for 1, but it's a support for Core. Naga for Huskar.
He's that ulti. And obviously look quite a bit different. And the armlet is pretty good, I hear. But in terms of that bottom lane, you would think that the Axe should get a little bit of an edge, right? Like, as they're both playing in the... well, I guess he would get an edge if he had the call. He needs to get a call and start going for the spin. I think it's time to dump out a Battle Hunger. It's not going to help you against the hood. Axe does, however, clean up that nice stack for himself.
Top lane, stun onto Warlock, big damage onto the Lifestealer, but Rage, open wounds, one more. Lion, he used his own stick, and he goes down. They might be able to save the Warlock. Nope, he's going to burn to death. Again, they go 1 for 1, but this time it is support for support. The Dire tri-lane actually hanging in there pretty darn well. Husky.
Like Puck tried to make a rotation bomb that invis room, but Axe kind of reading the situation has already gone to the jungle.
Shadow Friend. #1 net worth, just clearing out these waves. Over the hump, level 8.
Off the jungle he goes, and Axe goes back with his freshly purchased Vanguard from the side shop there.
Wow, and look at this Puck. He gets a haste rune. But Shadow Fiend is a level and a half up on the Puck. Now level 9.
Yeah, Puck's rotation's not successful. Still 0-1-0. And Axe, to our words of wise wisdom, has gone back in towards the spins and the call.
Huskar again getting shredded, but maybe I spoke too soon. This time he survives on a sliver of HP and kills the Lifestealer first. I think it's still going to be a great trade for Geek Fam, though. They bring down 2, and now Lion on the run. Shadow Fiend TPing in.
Oh, hello.
Nice stun on 2, sets it up, and Jackie gets a slam dunk.
So the SF rotation ends up coming out before the Puck. Generally not a very good sign. I mean, this is kind of Puck's bread and butter, but Puck needs people fighting under their own towers. Not as good on the aggressive front there. And Huskar will come to the mid lane.
Needs to be a little careful. Hard for Puck to find this kill solo at only level 8 without those extra points in Waning Rift, but still some options. You know, that Dream Coil is pretty nasty early on, and Puck does right-click relatively hard, especially with all these null tallies here. You get a +1 hero and good old BB. You know, I had a horse named BB.
Did you?
Yeah. He died of botulism, though. It was pretty traumatic.
How does a horse get botched? Oh, mid lane.
Oh, is that the Huskar?
Yeah.
Did I call it or what, man? Well, actually, he might kill the Puck. It's pretty close. They're having trouble controlling the Huskar, and finally an anchor smash. And there's the backstroke, so that's good. So close call, but Puck lives on, I don't know, 30 or 40 HP there. And queues up the Veil.
Easy.
Actually ditches the boots and says, yeah, I just want some extra survivability. This is tight. Nice now that
We're gonna
Bounty's
get the runes.
filling up the bottle. Yep. Nice little buff to mid laners there.
Radiant's bottom tower
And he's
is
going to
under
get this
attack.
illusion.
Radiant structures are fortified.
With Ty making that rotation, though, does cost him a little bit of damage on the bottom. Skyrath's here as well to try and set up a kill. Not 6 yet,
Middle tower is under
so they
attack.
don't have the lovely little combo.
Uh-oh,
Would've been great right
Lifestealer
there.
walks right into the axe. A lot of magic damage coming his way, but there's the rage. He gets back under tower, but Skyrath still on the other side of the tree line. Faded,
He's no
just
one
trying
fast.
to get back to friendly territory. Now TP on the way. It's Warlock. Golem on 2. Axe is in just a little too deep and Faded will be able to survive. Naga Siren does not get dunked. Close call. Able to live, though. Now the Skyrath taking tower shots. Bryant in hot pursuit looking for that ensnare. Going to be tough to close the gap here, but he does have a small movement speed advantage. Concussive shot comes out, and he will be repelled. Nice little turnaround for Geek Fam here in the bottom.
A bit too aggressive there on the axe, but he forces the rotations, so not the worst thing in the world.
Are
Yeah.
fortified.
Get that Warlock ult
Dire's middle
on
tower is
cooldown.
under attack.
Yeah, Axe went for the Vanguard first item again. Not rushing the blink.
Dire's
I
middle
like how
tower
Puck isn't rotating, actually, and it's taking advantage of this SF being gone. However, SF got a Shadow Blade. Oh. Oh my god, it's almost as if he knows, but he doesn't. And there he goes.
Oh! See ya. Bryant
Right
now.
into it.
One more raise. It's a double for Jackie.
Dire's top
Good old
Yeah, I like
Jackie.
the fact that Puck wasn't rotating, because like they still got the kills bottom without him, and he was trying to punish the fact that SF's always leaving the lane to farm. However, SF doing that has put him at a significant advantage in terms of net worth, and that's why he's a Shadow Blade. Just blew you up, and he's going to fire that right back into your tower, and probably end up getting yours first. So, very depressing. Lion's going to have an invis room. They could camp this mid if they want when Puck comes back. I'm kind of surprised he's not.
Radiant's middle
Looks like he's
tower
going to go
is
and
under
head top, actually. Just to
Yeah.
see what is going on up here. I don't know where he's going. Where are you going, Lion? All right,
Well,
he wants his tranquils.
Radiant's middle
It's
tower
on the
is
opposite
under
side now, but it's oddly reminiscent of Geek Fam's last game where they played the Shadow Fiend, who got really far ahead. And then their CK was brutalized in the lane, but came back on the backside of Shadow Fiend, helping them win fights. That's pretty much what we're seeing with this Huskar here. BB's been in Strug City just trying to find some recovery, trading 1-for-1 here and there. He's finally got his armlet. He's going to go into the halberd. But it feels kind of okay, and they've got a pretty decent advantage because Shadow Fiend is balling, and Axe is also in a pretty good space himself, ahead of the enemy position 1.
Yeah, we do this Veil complete, though. We have the Ravage, so how do they fight into this Tide Hunter and his crew? I don't know if they can. Axe doesn't put any threat bottom. Think about how long he's been here. There's no tower damage because he doesn't feel confident enough to cut because of the mobility of a puck, which makes sense, and the threat of an infest bomb, possibly. And so this top tower is going to be free. It's the next one where it's like gets dicey.
Skywrath.
It's more than free. They get themselves a Skywrath easily.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend pressuring mid, so he's forcing the Lifestealer to show, which does make Axe feel a little more safe. Top tier 1 goes down. Axe, he's smacking.
Ooh, they're going to smoke their other 3 heroes around the puck and try and come back and loop in behind the Shadow Fiend. Going to find themselves a Huskar. They still have Ravage.
Hello, Huskar. They don't even need it. He uses life break, and yeah, March doesn't really care all that much. The bottom tier 1 does go down, so they make a little bit of space for Axe to get that tower, hit level 10, and pick up his Blink Dagger. So that is something. It's not nothing. However, losing your Huskar also isn't great.
It's massive. They should be able to kill anyone. Don't jump on this Naga illusion. Good boys. Reading the smoke. Excellent. We've seen that pretty often lately, where they get a little antsy, and that's the target you want. Old Lifestealer. They have the silence. They have the blink.
I guessed the wrong way. Oh, no. Naga.
They're going to see him on the wave down there now. And Naga, they can also just get her.
Right by the shrine. She thought it was 1. Turns and right. Blown up. Now the TP in. March. Remember, he's got the Ravage. 2 more TPs on the way. The team fight en masse. They might be able to find a Skywrath. Coil does get broken. Nice heads-up play from Jackie there. Not to hesitate. Just breaks it straight away and knows that they can't really close the gap. And Skywrath, he's squishy, but he's one speedy devil. The upheaval's going to slow him down, and yep, that Gush is going to catch him. Almost.
Yeah, if he had a TP, I think he would have got out, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of think so, too.
But, yeah, they kind of split the hairs there. No one committed, or they didn't find the full commitment of the team onto 1 hero, so they almost escaped, but nice maneuvers. Now Axe is in the top lane, has his Blink Dagger, so feels even more confident pushing ahead like this, and also has the Catapult. Pretty important for nailing these towers down with ease, so he's going to create an opportunity where they could respond to the bottom lane. The question is, do they want to go? SF instead is in the mid, but they have the Sentry there, along with the Observer combo, so they know when he moves there. And Warlock's going deep for the Observer. Good luck, Ollie. Gets it down, not spotted. Huge play.
Will they defend this bottom tier 1 is the question. Some TPs coming in. It's Axe. He jumps forward, grabs Faded, but he's getting shredded. Ravage still ready to fly if they want to, and they'll secure this kill. Also the Warlock Golem to stop the Skywrath, and it looks like they might get a quick double on the side of Geek Fam, but in comes Jackie. Might just settle for the Golem, trying to finish off the Lifestealer, but doesn't quite have the damage. They'll get the tier 1 and head back to friendly territory.
That little play from Warlock is just so huge. Like, it's really risky because he just walks up there, but he got the ward down, and he got this ward down that showed no one else was rotating through, and so they feel fine just walking up, committing on those 2 heroes like that, guaranteeing the tower, getting good use out of your Ravage, and then they just retreat back to farm. But you don't have that ward there. Maybe you hesitate. Maybe you see 2 heroes and you start backing because you don't know what's going to follow up on the Axe Blink. But Ollie secures it easily.
It's very true. Lion, now level 9. Halfway to the Blink Dagger. How's Skywrath doing? Okay, couple of bracers. Looks like an Atos will be on the horizon. Pretty nice. And old Husky. Armlet toggling.
Puck is the
Talisman of
least
Evasion.
involved hero on the Radiant side.
That is very,
Very
surprising.
strange.
Initiation mid, Finger of Death even as they jump in onto March. They want this Tidehunter. Lion just clips him with the stun as Huskar jumps in and Life Break helps secure the kill. Now Song of the Siren resets. No follow-up. It's just a defensive song, and that'll be the end of it.
They thought about it, but there's nothing left in the tank. They don't have the golem right now. Puck just spent a bunch of spells. They watched that ward get placed down here, so that will get removed soon.
Into the
And
Roche
they've
pit we
scouted the
go.
Roche. Man, that's a low Huskar. I mean, I guess he's always low, but just in time.
Best bomb. Looks like they're going to catch the Lion up on the top side. He'll be the first to go down, but Huskar jumps in without skipping a beat. And Lifestealer, he's the one that gets destroyed this time. Age is still in tow. Chuan. Yep, not able to get the life break. Meanwhile, mid, Shadow Fiend misses one of the raises, just pops the BKB. Naga playing Ring Around the Rosie. Makes your head spin, but Shadow Fiend focuses on the kill. That is the 10-second BKB debut, but nice.
They know Axis or the Puck is there. They're hunting.
He
Went to
blinked
the very common TP out spot, but Axe won't go for it.
deeper into the tree line.
I can't believe Axe and Puck are the least involved heroes. It's so funny. They've been like mirroring each other on the opposite sides of the map, though. Like Axe has just been pushing these waves in, and Puck for the most part was just kind of sitting in the mid lane. But it's definitely worrisome, I think, when your Puck isn't involved. It feels like you've kind of wasted potential on the hero. Like, isn't there a better hero that could have just been farming creep waves this entire time that would put you at a better advantage? Like, has he even had to escape any real moments with Orb? I wouldn't say so. I don't think there have been these crazy ganks. You're like, oh my god, if that wasn't a Puck, they would have died. But like, don't you wish this was like a Medusa or a Terror Blade or something? You know what I mean? It just doesn't even feel like he's playing Puck.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. 2-2-2 at 20 minutes with 15 kills on the board. Things slowing down a little bit here as we're getting into the mid game. Both sides working on that round of core items. As I say that, it looks like the Dire will start to press forward here into the mid. Shadow Fiend still undefeated, 5-0-1.
World heavyweight champ, Shadow Fiend.
Oh yeah.
Everyone just retreats. 6K lead this time for the Aggressive Slayers again. But they got the Roche, so it's not going to be that turnaround play. What is the turnaround play going to be in this case? I guess it's probably going to be a Huskar dive that misses one toggle or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, this is just a completely different set of circumstances, though, because last time the problem was the mid laners getting outmatched so hard, and this time they've got that mid advantage. Like, the Shadow Fiend is so far ahead of the Puck, like 50% up on him.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Aggr looks pretty good, too. Initiation's alright. They have the instant burst on heroes because of the Skywrath Mage, who's almost 12 after this tome.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Do you think the Dire can pull this one off? You feeling alright about Aggressive Slayers?
I'm starting to. I really have faith in this Shadow Fiend. I mean, what are they going to do to deal with that butterfly when it comes out? Lifestealer's trying to get Radiance. I think it's a fine build, but he's not going to be able to go Radiance
late.
MKB.
Yeah, and it's real late.
It's
Like, the
super
armlet
late.
into the Radiance is pretty risky.
Yeah. So there's a pretty big window where I think they're going to continue to struggle to kill this Shadow Fiend a lot. And Huskar, he's starting to come online. Like, they're hitting this timing window where Huskar is very hard to deal with. Look, he's just playing it like a Sieger. He's like, great, low HP. You know what? I'm just going to lay into this tower. Now you're going to come close. Great. Throw some fiery spears. If I have to use this Aegis, I'm pretty happy with that. Life break onto Tide. This Huskar is playing it perfectly. He gets a 1-for-1. He's going to come back with the Aegis. Tide forced to buy back. Of course, he does have Ravage. Song of the Siren set up. BKB on the Shadow Fiend. It just completely backfires. He uses the Ravage. It's decent. but the rest of his team's already like headed back to the well. Up at the top, Lifestealer's trying to split push. He's playing some Rat Dota right now, and he does get the tier 3 tower. This could be barracks for barracks, but his team now running low on resources. Some executive decisions need to be made. He will TP back. Nice Dream Coil from the Puck as the Shadow Fiend's low. BB in pretty deep, but he's pretty darn tanky. Shadow Fiend gets popped, but Axe missing the dunk, getting the puck low. Lifestealer also dead alongside the Naga Siren, and now the life break across the way. This will be a dieback for March if they can bring him down, and it seems like they just don't have an answer for the Huskar. Glimmer Cape helping him out, but now these buybacks coming. This is where it gets scary. Big time auto attack speed. He's just hitting anything he can find. Creeps, structures, whatever's nearby. It's been 1, 2, 3 buybacks used, and they still can't defend the barracks. Meanwhile, up top, they take a lot of damage on the ranged barracks, but they stay standing. So a huge victory for Aggressive
Slayer. Oh, they go
Slayer.
down! The catapult! The
Wow.
final shot!
Okay, well, that's...
What a god!
That's a big time bummer. Okay, I spoke too soon there, Trento, but...
His dying breath.
Mega economic damage. Actually, I thought it would have been more with all those buybacks. It's only a 2K swing, but that makes it like 11K net worth lead overall. You look at that chart, and yeah, that graph is telling quite the story.
Oh, nice play from the Lifestealer. I mean, he could not have fought there, honestly. He has a Radiance recipe, and he had an Armlet. What's he going to do up against this Huskar Axe? And he'd just get blown up.
Yeah.
So it was best that he made the Rat. Worked out in the end, but obviously still heavy advantage here for Aggressive Slayers.
Yeah. I think they are executing to this with this Huskar about as perfect as you can be at this point. Itemizing the right way, now has the BKB, and they're just fighting very much around this peak and punishing this greedy build from the Lifestealer so much. I think Dire probably just going to continue to stay aggressive, kind of aware that if they just wipe them one more time, this game's pretty much over, given the state of buybacks. With a double damager, and Huskar just walks up the mid. Yule's Scepter will dispel the double damage, so that's not going to work out, but BB very aggressive here. BKB not going to be used quite yet, just hanging on to it as he life breaks in onto the Tide. Ravage up in 1 second. He's got it now. Huskar needs to be careful. Will he time this BKB right? Tide being very conservative. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for the kill there, but risky on both sides. Tier 3 tower dead. Now barracks exposed. Glyph not available for the Radiant. And there we go. Ravage now connects before BB can use the BKB, but they can't bring him down. And now the real fight begins. Life break. Lifestealer is just getting shredded on the back lines. The Requiem comes out. Song of the Siren. I heard it, but it ain't doing shit. 2 down, and I think we're moments from GG here, Trent.
Yeah, SF +1 strikes again.
Wow.
The creeps come through, and they're going right for those tier 4s. Huskar played very well this game.
This series is insane. It's just like a carbon copy of both games, except opposite teams. Shadow Fiend gets ahead, they play around it, and then the team just erupts into some pretty crazy momentum.
Oh, nice aggressive 4-step.
Yeah, that was tight. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this Huskar played near perfect. Even early on in the laning phase, like it felt rough because they were killing him, but he got a trade every single time, and that's what you have to do. You know, as Huskar, you're gonna die some, right? You accept that fate, and you go aggressive. You bring down as many as you can if you know you're certainly gonna fall. That's exactly what he did. He got the armlet. He spent some time in the jungle, and then as soon as he got that halberd, he just felt unkillable.
Yeah. Not to say the draft means everything.